Didn't feel that. No! Ow!
Oh my God.
Ow! Whoa! That'll wake you up in the morning, baby. Guys, I can tell you right now,
Guys are so
really
nuts.
baseball. This is
Boys.
watermelon hail.
Doesn't look like it may not be on the ground right now, so Dick Worsham. Dude, I can't. I just can't with that name.
All right, Brady's taking over. You got double. Check this out, guys. Double stream. We're streaming the stream.
How are you doing tonight, Phoenix of the Gods?
Doing good.
Oh my! Not what I was expecting.
Welcome, everyone. Hello, everyone. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Can everyone hear me? Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Can everyone hear me? There's your storm right there. There's your storm. There's your Vince. Storm. Vince. Storm. Vince. Now, guys. This is pretty good. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. You want to see Vince? Storm. Can everyone hear me? Hello, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Let me know when the okay, perfect, Carly. Thank you. Beautiful.
The area of greatest concern that I have is right just south of downtown Westerville. That's moving over top of you guys right now as we speak. This is if we get really granular. I was looking at a house here yesterday to buy. So this is an area that is close to home for me. I have family that lives here. I have family that lives out in New Albany. I have friends that live all over this place. So that, I guess.
We're starting very shortly, folks.
And now, your local on the Meower. Boat Guy. Phil, you're behind Boat Guy. He's going to get you through this. People in the chat are loving Boat Guy. Jess, Ginger Ninja, the return of the boat. Andrew Johnson, you can always trust the guy with the boat. I'm telling you, this guy, Eric Gray, that guy is going fishing no matter what.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Happy Hour here at the Weather Center. It's me, Stormcat5. Guys, thank you for joining me today. We've got another live outbreak of Tropical Storm Sara, guys, which has formed today in the Caribbean. Let's go ahead and get right into the show. Welcome to Outbreak. a new live stream format brought to you by the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Hosted by me, meteorologist Brady Harris, also known as Stormcat 5. We'll go live on days of extreme weather with the goal of keeping you safe, informed, and entertained. The only question that remains is, are you ready for the outbreak? The outbreak starts now. Well, guys, it's always happy hour here in the Weather Center, so I've got a nice brewski, so feel free to pull up a beer, have a drink, have your favorite cocktail. Could be a Sprite, doesn't matter, but go ahead and pour yourself out one because we're going to be looking at the models today. We're going to be nerding out, guys. Weather nerds. I know everyone here's probably a pretty big weather nerd. We're going to be looking at what is the latest information that we have with regards to Tropical Storm Sara. Now, the biggest update that we have today, guys, is that Sara is, first of all, we can now officially call it Sara. I've kind of refused to call this thing potential tropical cyclone 19. It just doesn't really roll off the tongue, right? I think it's a one word. It's just like I'd much rather prefer to call it Sara. And now we officially can, because Tropical Storm Sara has formed in the Mediterranean, or sorry, not the Mediterranean. I always say that instead of the Caribbean. In the southern Caribbean, right off the coast of Honduras. Here's the latest advisory right now that we have from the National Hurricane Center. They have this thing at about 40 miles an hour, so that has not changed today. The pressure has dropped around 1 millibar to 998. The movement is still west at 10 miles an hour, so this thing has continued to just push off to the west, and that is really, in large part, why Florida isn't as much at risk at this particular moment. We're going to dig into all of that in the show. I want to thank every single person in the chat who is joining us. I know we got a lot of our regulars tonight. We got Deborah, we got Caitlin, we got Carly, we got Farmer's Wife, we got Del Mar Girl, we got Christine. Rip my ears. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Christine, if that's so loud. We got everyone checking in the chat. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to try and make today, I want to make today informative. We're also going to have a little bit of fun here on this edition of Outbreak. So thank you guys once again for joining me here today. Go ahead and spam your favorite emotes in the chat. We got Inspector Sassy as well. Guys, send me your favorite. I know you guys all the time love to send me your favorite photos on Twitter. Go ahead and send me any photos you want to at the end of the show. We'll show them. If you've got cat photos, if you've got gecko photos, if you've got llama photos. Every time I feel like I stream, my chat always sends me a different animal. So let's see what we're going to get today on the show. But this is what we're looking at, Sara, right now currently. We'll go ahead and click in and I'll show you exactly what we got cooking here. Here's the latest cone that we got from the National Hurricane Center. Now, I think the important thing to note, and let me go ahead and get my fancy drawer thing out, which I can be able to draw on the screen and show you what we got cooking over there. But we do have tropical storm warnings all along the coast of Honduras. So that is really along much of the coast on the Caribbean. We've got tropical storm warnings. We've also got a tropical storm watch down here as well, as this kind of system pushes off to the west. Now, for Honduras, guys, this is not going to be this is going to be a bad event for Honduras. We'll get into all those details. I'll show you Belize as well. This system is going to push into Belize probably as a tropical storm. And just the timing wise, let's look at the timing on this, because the National Hurricane Center does a pretty good job of timing this out. This is 4 p.m. today on Thursday. This is the latest advisory. It has, the National Hurricane Center has this sitting just off the coast here for a couple of days. Friday, Saturday, and it doesn't actually have it moving into Belize until Sunday. So that's why we're really concerned for Belize, for a lot of that flooding rain that's going to bring to Belize. Now, there's a silver lining to that, right? Because of the fact that it will keep this system lower on the spectrum of intensity as it moves over land, but that just means more impacts for Central and North America here. So that's what we got in terms of the cone. And then watch this, guys. It has Monday, 1 p.m. Monday. So on Monday, this system is going to merge into the Gulf of Mexico on the other side of the Yucatan. And once it does that, once it emerges into the Gulf, there's a lot of different things that could happen. I think normally if this were September, we'd be very worried about this since it's November and the waters are a little bit cooler and there's a little bit more wind shear. A lot of the models aren't saying this thing's going to strengthen once this emerges into the Gulf. But guys, in the year of 2024, I've seen much crazier things happen. We are far from being over with this system just yet. We got Mama G as well checking into the chat. Mama G, thank you very much for joining us. Mama G just became a mod here, so we got Dark Girl as well checking in as well. So keep checking in the chat, guys. I see that. I love that. But this is the latest cone from the Hurricane Center. Guys, if you are watching me on Twitter, head on over to YouTube so you can get in our chat. You can become a part of our Stormfront Freak community over there on YouTube. We're going to put a lot of good content out there as well. So thank you once again for joining us. So let's take a look at the latest satellite here, and let's just show you what Sara is doing currently. And here is the latest kind of visible satellite that we have. And I'm going to go ahead and put this big screen so you guys can see this a little bit better. So here's the latest satellite that we have for Sara. And a couple of things you'll notice. One, it's got some kind of outer convection over here. And let me just redo my screen here so I can draw on it. But it's got some outer bands of convection that are kind of driving it to the west, off to the west of the storm, towards the center. You can see some convection bubbling right towards the center of the screen there, and I know that circle's a little bit hard to see. What up, PJ? PJ's checking in. That's close to the center of the tropical storm Sara. So we do have some convection bubbling up at the center. You can see that by the grays, even the purples, and the blacks towards the center of the storm. And now that is getting dangerously close to the coast of Honduras, and that's why this system isn't really taking off, because it's interacting with all of this land and keeping the strength down, which is good for now. It's good for Florida, not necessarily good for Belize. Let's take a look at the satellite and actually show you what it looks like currently on the visible satellite. Gosh, what a beautiful view! You can see this kind of shows you the structure of the storm a lot better. And look, I mean, you can clearly see it's rotating. It's clearly rotating around the center. And the center, if I had to just look at this on satellite, I'd say the center is somewhere about right in there. That's where the center of this system is. It's really close to the coast of Honduras, if not moving on shore. And I don't think there's going to be really significant storm surge with this down in Honduras, but it's the rain that we're worried about for Honduras. And just to give you guys an idea, here is Honduras right here. When I say Honduras, this is the country of Honduras, and they're probably going to take the brunt of this system in the next couple of days, with Belize and Cancun and other areas also taking some impacts as well. But just a gorgeous view of the storm. And we got Nikki checking in as well. Nikki, thanks for joining the stream as well. Guys, if you are watching on Twitter, go ahead and come over to YouTube as well. Come join the Stormfront Freak and Stormcat fam. We would love to have you. If it is your first time watching on YouTube, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a lot more content that we're going to show you. And I think Jordan Hall actually won't be joining us today. He'll be joining us tomorrow. So we'll be doing another live sometime tomorrow where we'll kind of do the update there. So Jordan Hall will join us tomorrow. All right, that's what this is currently looking like on visible satellite. Now I want to show you. Let's go ahead and take a look. This is Tropical Tidbits, and now we finally have Sara that we can click on. This shows you where the center is, and guys, look at that. It's right. And let me zoom in a little bit. But this is right where I pretty much circled. And the reason why we want to watch the center so closely, because if this kind of center can kind of drift a little bit up to the north and stays over open water, we've got a problem, right? Houston, we've got a problem. But if this center continues to move like it has and move onshore into Honduras, which is what a lot of the models say is going to happen, then this system's really going to have a hard time getting organized. Because it's over land, and everyone knows hurricanes have a tough time forming over land, right? It's like trying to ride a bike without any tires. It's just not going to happen. I don't know if anyone's tried to ride a bike without tires, but or try to rollerblade without blades. It just doesn't work, guys. That's what happens when you have a hurricane that goes over land. It just doesn't work. So unless the day after tomorrow situation were to unfold here, which I'm really hoping does not happen for all of our sakes, this storm should continue to move over Honduras and kind of sit here for a couple of days, maybe just hang off the coast here, and then eventually shoot to the northwest over the Yucatan Peninsula. So that's something I'm watching. That's if you're wondering what I'm watching over the next couple of days, the ceiling of Sara is really going to depend on how far this thing stays off the coast. And right now, trends are having it going on shore and keeping it weaker. So let me show you the latest models that we have today. And I'm going to show you the 18Z models. These are the latest spaghetti plot that we have. Basically what this is, guys, is these are all, let me zoom out a little bit so you can get the bigger picture here. This basically takes a composite of a lot of the major models, the hurricane models, as well as a lot of the major global models, and it plots out exactly where they think this thing's going to go. These are not the ensemble models, but these are instead individual kind of models that run, including the UK and other things. All of them, pretty much all of them, have come into agreement that this thing is going to sit right off the coast, hug the coast of Honduras for a couple of days, and then shoot up to Belize, go through the Yucatan Peninsula, get picked up by a cold front, and then slide into Florida. Now, the big question is, I think this did look a lot like Wilma, I think a couple of days ago, Mama G. But right now, that is not what we're thinking at this particular point. And I see we have someone in Belize checking in that I will hit on that comment in just a second. That is a great question. So right now, this is what the models are saying is going to happen. Now, I think the next couple of days they're not set in stone, but they're pretty. A lot of them, all of the models have been showing this, where they the system meanders off the coast of Honduras, and then moves into Belize, and then moves in the Yucatan, and then emerges on the other side. I think it's and it's either going to be a tropical storm, it's going to stay as a tropical storm, might strengthen a little bit, but really none of the models have been hinting at rapid intensification for Sara over the next couple of days. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I think it's a very low probability that it will happen. I think I would be shocked if this thing strengthened into a major and hit Belize as a major hurricane. I think that is not impossible, but it's very, very, very low probability. And we would definitely see it coming. It wouldn't just pop out of thin air. So I think the next couple of days are pretty set in stone. Belize is probably going to get hit by a tropical storm, maybe a low-end Category 1 hurricane, but I think much more likely is going to be a tropical storm, disorganized one at that. And it's going to bring some heavy rain, some wind to Belize. It's going to bring some wind to the Yucatan Peninsula. I think Cancun right now, which is up here in the northern portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, I think they're looking a little bit better. They may get some, the seas will probably be pretty rough. There may be some gusty winds. There'll probably be some outer bands from the tropical storm. But the center is going to rain probably well to the south. I think Belize is probably going to take a bigger impact from this. I think the biggest impacts for Belize, right, to Wicked Ways' point, she said she has family in Belize. They fly back to the States Monday should they consider leaving early. I think if they really want to be safe, right, I think they would, if they want to be on the safe side, right, they could fly back early, right? I don't think it's going to be necessarily the end of the world there, but I do think they are going to see significant rain. They are going to see wind, and they are going to possibly see a strong tropical storm hitting them down there in Belize. So if they want to guarantee safety, if they want to be safe, if they want to play it safe, I would recommend kind of getting out before that. Now, I don't think Belize is going to get hit with a Category 5 hurricane, right? I think that's probably a very low, if not non-existent possibility, but there is going to be flash flooding. There is going to be a lot of rain, a lot of wind for a couple of days down there. So, it's probably, being on the safe side is probably what I would recommend. Now, having said that, once this system moves out into the Gulf of Mexico, once it exits, no problem. Once it exits on the other side, it's going to move into the Gulf, and that's really the question, right? The big question mark is, what is this thing going to do when it gets in the Gulf of Mexico? We're going to look at a couple of models to kind of see what they're saying, but I think one of the important things to note is, if I would pull up, I just want to show you how this has been trending, because we can look at these. We can look at these different plots. This is from last night. Let me just pull up a couple here, and I'll just quickly show you guys a couple of these just to show you how Sara has been trending. And this is the first time I've actually looked at this, so bear with me here. But I'm just going to show you a couple of the. I'm going to show you the 0Z first, and let's put the 0Z first. Let's put the 6Z second. Let's put the 12Z third. So these are the spaghetti plots. This is last night. This was run about anywhere from like 8 to midnight, right? All these models kind of run at similar times. This was 0Z from last night. This is the 6Z today. So if we go 0Z to 6Z, pretty similar, right? Pretty similar trend. Now let's check 12Z. 12Z, pretty similar. Has a very similar track, right? They have it actually a little, the 12Z actually went a little bit further to the west, and they tightened up a little bit. Now let's check the 18Z. The reason why we do this is check for trends to see what's going on. Actually, it's trended a little bit even further to the west. So, landfall in Belize instead of, kind of a little bit to the north. So today, the models have trended in a little bit to the west and a little bit further close to the coast. So there hasn't been much changes today looking at the models. And that's why I said it's pretty set in stone that this storm is going to take, at least for the next day or two, is going to take the track outlined. And then from there, things can change. Hey, we got LX24 checking in. What up, LX24? This is the first time I've seen you here. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you do like what you're seeing. Thank you for joining, my friend. So that's what I look at when I look at the trends to see, okay, has this thing dramatically changed today or not? And from my perspective, the answer is no. The story is still the same. That could change, but right now the story is still the same. Flooding rain for Honduras, flooding rain and wind for Belize, flooding rain for Mexico, but then a weaker storm for Florida. Now, I'm just going to show you the intensity guidance as well to check what that is doing. So this is the 18Z. Guys, check this out. I don't know if you looked at, and Mama G, I'll show you that in just a second. But I don't know if this is the first time I've seen this today. Only 3 models have this getting to a hurricane now. One's a ship model. I think I'd have to draw the other lines. But pretty much all of them, the rest of the models have this basically staying at a tropical storm, basically for the life of this thing. And when this would be impacting Florida would be between hour 108 and hour 144. So interestingly, there is a bit of an uptrend. There is a bit of an uptick once this thing emerges into the Gulf, which is about right in here. But it only gets this system to a tropical storm and keeps it a tropical storm before it makes landfall eventually in Florida. Because I think that's probably a certainty. Whatever this is, whatever Sara is when it emerges into the Gulf, is going to hit Florida. Right? There's going to be I can say this pretty confidently. This is going to hit Florida. It's going to probably bring some rain to Florida and some wind. That's probably the bare minimum. Now, does it get above that? That's the real question that I think I want to look at right now and get into and kind of show you guys the latest information there. Let's take a look at the 12Z intensity just to see if it's trended anywhere interesting. Okay, so the 18Z, the intensity has picked up a little bit for the next couple of runs. So that is an interesting trend we're going to have to watch. There is between the 18Z and the 12Z models. That's 18Z. That's 12Z. 18Z, 12Z, 18Z, 12Z, 18Z. There we go. But that is a little bit of an uptick in the next 24 to 48 hours. So it isn't a huge uptick, but it definitely is hinting that this system maybe could be a little bit stronger, maybe stay off the coast a little bit as it goes into Belize. But I mean, the story in large part is the same. Tropical storm for the next 48 hours. Could be low-end Category 1 hurricane. but most of the thinking is still in the tropical storm intensity. So that's what we got cooking right now for Sara. I do want to show you guys. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you Mama G what we got cooking in terms of the water temperatures. I do want to show you the trends in some of the models, and it's pretty cool what we can do here to show you how these things have been trending. So let's go ahead and pull up the Caribbean here. What we can do is let's get to the point where this is the strongest. And we're looking at right now is sea level pressure. So this is the latest version of the GFS. This is the 12Z today. It has this deepening somewhat, still kind of hanging off the coast. But let's look at the last maybe 4 or 5 runs from this model just to see how this has been trending. What we can do is we can do a GIF. We look at compare runs. We're gonna do, let's just do the last 5 runs. Okay, so these are the last 4 runs of the GFS. And all of these have been, we're gonna do this at 2 points. We're gonna do this for the Euro, we're gonna do this for the GFS. We're also gonna look at the ensembles as well, because the ensembles give us a really good idea of what's gonna happen here. So guys, this just shows you the GFS, the last 4 runs, it's been pretty much the same, right? This is like a GIF of basically the last 4 runs that shows you what we got cooking here for that. The GFS really hasn't changed, and let's go ahead and now pick a different point. Let's pick when this thing emerges from the Gulf. Let's do like right here. So this is on Tuesday, and for timing wise, guys, the system looks probably won't impact Florida till late Tuesday or Wednesday. That's when a lot of, like during the day, Wednesday is when a lot of models have been showing it. So I just want to pick a point Tuesday and see, has the last 4 runs trended stronger or weaker for the GFS. We're going to do the same thing with the Euro, and let's compare. Create the GIF there. So really, guys, these are the last 4 runs of the GFS. Really not much change, right? I mean, if anything, it's a little bit weaker, but it goes from 1,006 to 1,008 millibar, which is, I mean, guys, that's like a bird fart, that's good news. That's good news for Florida, at least. Is the models have been pretty unimpressed with what this is going to do in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's pull up the Euro. And let's do the same thing here. First of all, let's take a look at the 12Z Euro today. And let's also, because this is my first time looking at this. Okay, tells a similar story. Hangs off the coast of Honduras, brings some pretty significant flooding rain. And I mean, look at that, guys. This is Saturday, so this is 2 days from now. This is Sunday. This is Sunday at 4 p.m. It eventually makes landfall. I mean, as a really weak, the Euro has this as a really weak system going into Belize and then emerging from the other side. And I mean, it pretty much gets shredded, guys. There's really no system. The latest Euro has no system here. This is Wednesday at like 7. I mean, it has nothing. Has basically nothing for Florida. So, the trend has been Florida's friend really the past day and a half. Things could still change. Once this thing emerges from the Yucatan, I mean, it could still, the waters are warm enough to be able to strengthen something, but right now, none of the models are picking up on it. So let's just do this. Let's do the trend again for the Euro. Let's compare runs. And actually, let's go back a little bit because that was interesting. The Euro had something on the other side. Let's check it out. I went back too far. Let's do 19 and let's do it like that. That's good. No, let's do something else. Sorry, guys. Let's do 20 like 4. There are no monoruns. Hold on. Let's get like Tuesday at like 7. Let's check that. Okay, so Euro's similar story, guys. Just it doesn't really have much in the way of a system for Florida. So this signal is pretty much all but disappeared, and it looks like the Yucatan is going to do a number on this storm once Sara makes landfall. We could still see it reorganize. I've seen crazier things happen, but right now it's not looking too bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ensembles. I always like to look at these. These show you, these are really essentially what an ensemble is, guys. They take one model and they run it with different variations of that model. They run it 52 with the Euro. They run it 52 different times. So I mean, they're running that model a lot, and I tell you what, the servers are probably hot when they're running that thing. And guys, it's happy hour here too, by the way. Cheers! Thank you for everyone joining me over on Twitter or X. Thank you for everyone joining me on YouTube. Kick back. Hopefully you guys have a good time today at happy hour here. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. It's almost 5 o'clock on the East Coast. So thank you for joining me, guys. Crack one open today and enjoy. Hopefully you're enjoying this stream and I'm giving you some useful information. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments in the chat. And let's keep it rolling here. So this is the Euro ensemble from today. This is the 12Z. Let's look at all the models. Let's look at all the different ones and just kind of show you. Okay. So these are all of the, this is kind of a collection of all of the members, and just to give you some perspective here, let's go back a couple of days ago to show you. Look, I guess, look at the spread. So each one of those kind of circles, that's a different outcome for this system. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see this better. There we go. But that's a different outcome for this system right now. So this was a couple of days ago. Look at that, guys. Look how many. This was 12Z, 11, 13, 12Z. So this was yesterday midday. This was the Euro ensemble yesterday. Look at how many members. I mean, this one in the center is 955 or 959, which that's approaching a Category 3, maybe Category 4 hurricane. And a lot of these had a hurricane hitting Florida. Right, and that was why why the alarm bells were going off yesterday, the day before, because these ensembles painted a pretty bad picture for the west coast of Florida. Now check this out. I'm going to pause it right here. So this is Wednesday at 1. Check this out. 12Z. This is today at 12Z. This is about 24 hours later. Look at that. I mean, guys, there's only one ensemble that has one member that has this as a hurricane. Exactly, Inspector Sassy. Category 4. It had this as a Category 4 hurricane going to Florida. But guys, this is today. There's only one, and you can barely see it right in the center of the screen. That's 989 millibars. That's only one member that has this as a hurricane. There's also one up here that's 995. So this just goes to show you that the big trend the past couple of days, or the past day, has been really good for Florida. And pretty much all the models are showing that trend. And the reason why they have that is because the system is moving over the Yucatan, and the Yucatan is, some of it's mountainous, especially in Honduras is mountainous as well. And so because the system's hanging out so close there, it's really doing a number on the system. It's effectively going to rip it apart and make reorganization really tough. It's not out of the question, right? We're not out of the woods yet here in Florida, but it is going to be really tough for this thing to get its act together. It's like a car without an engine, and it's got to go find an engine. Got to go find, got to go find a dealership to give it an engine before it can drive. That's what this hurricane is. That's what Sara's going to be like when it emerges from the Yucatan. It's going to have to find a dealership and find an engine quick, because a cold front is going to pick this up and really slingshot this to the northeast pretty quick. So, oh, that is a doozy, Inspector Sassy. That is one of your best ones yet. That's for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at well, first of all, I'm going to show you the trend here, because this is the trends have been pretty similar for Belize and Honduras, but I do want to show you the trends here for this system from the Euro. This paints a really good picture here. Ready? Let's go watch this. Well, that's really fast. So you guys, so the first image you see, that's 12Z yesterday. The last image you see is 12Z today. Look at that. I mean, that is just as about as you are very punny, Inspector Sassy. You are. That is about as clear as it gets in terms of a trend of just really backing off of a strong system hitting Florida. This thing's moved a little bit further to the north, and it is really decreased in strength. That's what we're looking at now, the trends. Let's go ahead and go over to the GFS ensemble, see if it tells a similar story. And that is rain. Oh, that's the G. I just clicked on the GFS. Yikes. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. And guys, this is the first time I'm looking at this today. So let's take a look at that. Okay, it tells a similar story. And the GFS ensemble is run, a few members run less, but it does have a couple of members, you know, strengthening once it gets into the Gulf. Those green circles are different lows, excuse me, that it have developing. So there is a couple of members that does have it strengthening a little bit. So I think, you know, that would probably be a tropical storm, maybe a low-end hurricane. But once again, that's really only one member that's doing that. And it's most of them are not. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trend here when this thing's about to hit Florida. Let's compare what it was yesterday. Wait, there are 3 model runs. Let's see if we can find one with 4. Okay, there's only 3. Let's go back a little bit. How about that? Okay, so the GFS has been pretty consistent, pretty much staying with a couple of systems, possibly. Well, it's only going to be one system, but a couple of members showing something hitting Florida. You know, tropical storm. I think that's definitely possible. I don't think a hurricane right now is the most likely at this particular point for the west coast of Florida, which I know there's a lot of people, including myself, that are on the west coast of Florida. We do not need another hurricane. We just don't need it. We don't want it. We don't want any part of it. So right now, at least, it looks like we will be relatively happy. But that's just what we're looking at right now. That could change. I think once the system emerges from the Yucatan, we'll know a lot more. You know, it's like going to a concert and not knowing how the lead singer is going to be dressed, right? I've never been to a concert in my life, so I can't really do that analogy. But it's like getting a box of nuggies and not knowing what the nuggies are going to look like, right? They could be really great. They could be crispy, they could be juicy, but the nuggies you also get, the chicken nuggets that you also get, could also be soggy. They could be terrible, especially if you're getting, you know, from like Burger King or like McDonald's. I'm a Wendy's Nuggies kind of guy, so it's we don't really know what the system's going to look like on the other side of the Yucatan, and it's just like getting a box of nuggies. You just don't know, you know. Sometimes you just don't know. All right, so we also had, and guys, let me know what else you want to see as well. But Mama G asked what the sea surface temperatures are. And here are the current sea surface temperatures. This is as November 6th. This is about a week ago, so this is supposed to update, but interesting. My guess is they just don't have the measurements yet for that. But guys, look, okay, just to give you some perspective, exactly, some dino nuggies. This is, and guys, if you're here for Jordan Hall too, Jordan's actually going to be joining us tomorrow. I don't have time to change the, thumbnail. But this is tomorrow, or this was October 14th, what we're looking at. So look how, I mean, guys, this is just absolutely scalding bath water that we have up there in the Gulf as well as down here in the Caribbean. Now watch this. Watch out, and I'm just going to put this in motion here. This is every day in October. Look how the water just is really cooling really fast, and by the time we get to, and wait a second, this is going into, is this going into, oh wait, oh my gosh, this is 2023. I'm an idiot. All right, we're back. Okay, don't worry guys, we're back to 2024 here. Yeah, this could be sea serpent temperatures. Okay, so this is actually 2024. Now we're going to show you. Now we're going to show you October. This is October 10th. So this is about a month ago, and this is now October 21st. So the oceans have, especially the Gulf, has cooled off significantly. This is November 1st. So look how much cooler they are now, and this is currently, or this is about a week ago. So I think the big thing to note is, one, when this system is in really warm water, but once it emerges into the Gulf, this water is still warm enough for strengthening of a tropical system, right? Especially this little nose right here, which if this system takes this track, is going to tap into potentially. But a lot of the models don't have that. A lot of the models don't have this thing strengthening, but the water is still very warm for this time of year. If we look at the anomaly, it's all very warmer than it should be, except for this little pocket right in there, and that was actually where Raphael went over and upwelled. So that's a little pocket of cooler than normal water for Raphael, but the rest of the Gulf is warmer than normal and theoretically does have enough heat content to be able to strengthen this, to be able to strengthen hurricanes. But right now, I don't think the system, Sara, is going to have its act together enough, and will get its act together enough to be able to become a hurricane before it hits Florida. But we will see. But that's my take on it right now. I don't think we're going to have a hurricane in Florida. I could be wrong, but that's my gut call at this point. I think Florida's probably going to see a sloppy system. And let me just show you guys right now what this is, the GFS model. Gonna have another drink of the good old beer here. It's always happy hour, guys. We're almost to 5. We're almost officially at happy hour for the East Coast. So go ahead and crack one open with the crew here. But let's go ahead and take a look at what the GFS says. What the GFS says will happen over the next couple of days, and let's just let's show you the just the kind of composite reflectivity. So guys, this is, let's start it tonight. This is 7 p.m. tonight. Watch how just the rain just sits over Honduras for days. This is 1 a.m. on Saturday. They are still getting rain, heavy rain along the coast and in the mountains in Honduras and then in Belize. And then watch this system slowly lifts off to the northeast, but still, this is Saturday at 7 p.m. They're still getting rain in Honduras. They're still getting rain in Belize. They're still getting rain just to the south of Cancun. Eventually, this system slides to the north. Look how disorganized it gets, guys. This is 7 a.m. on Monday. The system starts to emerge from the Yucatan Peninsula and then gets picked up by a cold front, which is moving down and tries to get its act together again. But it's really just a blob of rain at this point, right? With maybe a front down here where there could be some severe weather. We're gonna have to watch that pretty closely, because even if this doesn't strengthen, there could be some severe weather. But timing wise for Florida, I think Wednesday is really going to be the day that we're going to see impacts. Maybe late Thursday, but Wednesday is going to be the day that we'll see impacts really up and down the coast of Florida. Most people are going to receive rain. There could be some wind. And then the East Coast is going to get the leftovers of whatever rain is there. And there could be, if it's a strong tropical storm, there could be some storm surge. But right now, because this is probably going to be a tropical storm when it hits Florida, or weaker, right? There's no guarantee it even has its act together when it hits Florida. But there probably isn't going to be significant storm surge. But that's if you live in Florida, right? I'm in Florida right now. If you live on the west coast of Florida, I don't want you to let your guard down just yet, right? I think you can feel a little bit better about, feel a lot better than you did yesterday, right? About Sara. But there's still a lot of possibilities. A lot of things can happen. The water is still warm enough to support a hurricane. Now, most of the models, pretty much none of the models have it being a hurricane when it hits Florida. But as we saw yesterday, they can flip back and forth, especially in the long term as this goes. So still keep one eye on it. Follow me on Twitter. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated here as this thing progresses. But I think where you were kind of freaking out yesterday, today you can probably take a sigh of relief and just keep one ear to the ground. And I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated. I'll be the first to tell you if this thing starts to get bad for Florida or for any other areas. Now, so that's how this could play out. That's kind of the timing on Sara. Sara, I tell you what, Sarah's going to be. She might be a little messy when she gets to Florida. So she's probably going to need maybe a broom or something to clean her up, because she is going to be very messy when she gets to Florida, most likely. Now, the other thing I just want to show you guys, I just want to zoom in. I want to see if I can zoom in on Honduras just to show the rain that we're going to get. Let me see if I can look at Yucatan. Maybe this will show us. Okay, this is a good view. So this is the rain. This is the rainfall that's expected. Let me just go over here to precipitation total. And yikes. Let's turn this over to, oh my God. Is it millimeters? No one, oh my God. I'm sorry guys, I'm an American. I'm an ignorant American that does inches. And this is in millimeters. That's fine. We might have to do the someone in the chat help me out with millimeters to inches, okay? Please. Someone in the chat help me out with millimeters to inches. So here's why we're so concerned about specifically Honduras. Check this out, guys. This is a bullseye. Whoops. This is a bullseye right now of, that's an insane amount of rain. Let's just do it. Someone in the chat help me out. Do 347 millimeters to inches. Oh my God. Someone do 347 millimeters to inches. I'll be very impressed if you can get this. 13 inches. Okay. So, 13 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but we saw it with Hurricane Helene, guys. They had a couple feet, they had a couple feet of water fall in the mountains, and look what it did. When you have this kind of moisture and this kind of rain falling, and this is only one model, guys. So let's look at the 12Z2 and just see if it was more there. It was 516 millimeters there. So that's guys, we're talking about feet of rain near the coast and in the mountains in Honduras, and then Belize looks like it's going to get a little bit less than that, but we're still going to be talking about close, several inches of rain falling over the next couple of days, and then there's possibly feet of rain falling in Honduras, which is going to be a problem, right? I think someone was going to get hit hard with Sara, and it was either going to be Florida or it was going to be Central America, Honduras, and it looks like at least at this point that Central America is going to take the brunt of this. Florida will feel some impacts, but they won't be as bad as they could have been if this system would have tracked a little bit further to the east. So that is, unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword here. Sara wasn't going to go out without a fight, and I tell you what, she's got her boxing gloves out and she's got it aimed right at Honduras. So If you do have friends or family down that you know that live in Honduras, they're going to be in for a long kind of next couple of days as they just get rain after rain down there. So wow, definitely be thinking about Honduras because they're looking at a Helene type situation down there where just it's going to be flooding rain for days and mudslides, avalanches. Or I guess mudslides, not avalanches. They're not going to be getting any snow, but that's really the interesting thing there. All right, well, that was the big briefing today. That was Sarah. That's what Sarah's gonna be expecting. I do want to just quickly zoom in. I just want to zoom in on Florida and just kind of show what we're expecting rain-wise, and this is just one model, but I did just want to just see what the GFS was thinking, because there's going to be a cold front that comes. Yeah, and so guys, check this out. This is what the GFS says. Thank goodness. We're back on the American model, and the American model has inches. America, let's go, right? We love America. Let's go. But we're back on inches, so now we're cooking. We are cooking with gas, chat. But check this out, guys. Even with the GFS basically saying that Sarah's going to weaken significantly, look how much rain we got. Look how much rain the West Coast and really Central Florida is going to get from, or possibly get from this system. And this is what Sarah is going to be on the weaker side. So if Sarah strengthens a little bit more, these totals could increase for sure, but this is at least what we have, anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inch to 3 inches of rain that could fall, maybe even more in some portions. But regardless, Sarah, no matter what Sarah does, it is going to be a rainmaker for Florida. That much we know. There could be severe weather, there could be some wind, and if this thing strengthens more, there could be higher impacts. But that's at least what we're thinking about right now. Yeah, and Mama G brings up a great point, guys. We are going to be having our podcast tonight live. I won't be on it just because I'm actually gonna be at dinner with some family and friends. But there is going to be we do have a great podcast planned tonight. Just make sure you head on over to YouTube and like and subscribe this show, and then check us out later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a podcast where we're going to have some storm chasers on, and we're going to be talking about storm chaser safety and kind of some things to do when storm chasing, some things not to do, and other things along those lines. So make sure you join us here at 9 p.m. On the Stormfront Freaks YouTube channel. We're going to have a great show tonight planned for the stream. And we have some great guests too on the stream as well. And I'll just show you on our YouTube page what that looks like. We're here at Stormfront Freaks on YouTube, and we are going to be having, this is our live stream right now, we are going to be having Brett Adair and Brandon Clement tonight. We're going to be looking at Dixie Alley storm chasing training. So make sure you check that out tonight. That is at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a great show, and a lot of the freaks are going to be on. So make sure you check that out over on our YouTube at Stormfront Freaks. Wow, guys, does anyone have any questions? Is anyone who's on the West Coast of Florida or in Central America, near Belize or Honduras? You guys have any questions about Sarah, what we know, what we don't know at this particular moment? Do want to also look at, let's see, I do want to look at some of the hurricane models, because those are often pretty good with showing the outcome or some of the intensity. They do a pretty good job with some of the intensity here. So this is the HMON. So let's go ahead and check out the HMON. Let's zoom out a little bit though. We're a little bit too far zoomed in here. Oh my God. Carly says it's going to be 2 a.m. in UK and she's going to be there. Guys, at this point, no one has an excuse. If Carly's going to be there and it's 2 a.m. for her, I mean, that's awesome. So this is the H-Mon, guys. Now, interestingly enough, the H-Mon keeps the center just offshore, but then look at that, moves it onshore in Honduras during the day on Saturday. And guys, this is the 12Z run of the H-Mon. This moves it through Central America, or this moves it through Mexico and Belize as, you know, a weak tropical storm, if not a tropical depression. Now it emerges from there, and guys, that is interesting. H-Mon does you know, it only goes out this far, 1 hour, 126 hours. It does have it starting to kind of slowly intensify in the Gulf. So we'll have to watch that. But it does emerge from the Yucatan, still has its act together. And yeah, Carly's never missed a stream. Carly's the best, guys. Give a lot of love to Carly in the chat. She's one of our mods here. She also is she's on every stream. It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty amazing, actually. All right, let's check this one out. This is the HWRF, or HMRF, as I like to call it, the HMRF. I guess there's no M in there, so I don't know why I'm saying HMRF, but that's just what I call it. So similar story. This actually has this system, Sara, staying off the coast of Honduras, which is going to allow this to strengthen a little bit more, move into Belize, but then has it, you know, getting ripped apart pretty good in Central America. And once again, emerges there, still has got some shower activity, some re-strengthening, but stays pretty disorganized once it emerges there, and then starts to slide to the northeast. So the hurricane models all kind of tell a similar story. Let's take a look at the HAFS-A, the HAFS. Similar story, tropical storm going into Belize, staying pretty disorganized, starting to organize a little bit more at the end of the frame there, 995 millibars. That would be a tropical storm, so nothing new there. Let's check the B version. Sara. Also, okay, this one has it moving on shore Honduras, then coming off, strengthening a little bit to a tropical, it's still a weak tropical storm, moves on shore, and then moves into the Gulf and is pretty disorganized. This is at 1,000 millibars, which is what it's at basically right now. So a lot of the hurricane models don't go out as far as I would like them, or they don't go out as far as to show us what they think is going to happen in Florida, but they do emerge from the Yucatan Peninsula, and it's really not that big of a, or they emerge from the Yucatan as a weak, relatively weak system. So I'm not too concerned with these trends, but we are going to need to watch this over the next couple of days, because once again, look at these hurricane. These models are specially designed for hurricanes, and they do pretty good with you know, intensity. But they don't run. They only run out to 126 hours. So you know, we're looking at Wednesday is really the day we need to see. So tomorrow is going to be really interesting to look at these again and see what they show for this system by the time it impacts Florida. Well, that was pretty fun. I think we covered all the models. We covered everything I wanted to cover. Guys, does anyone has any questions about this system, about what Sara's going to do, what's going to happen? Let me see if anyone sent me any photos. We'll look at those. Oh my gosh. Why, yes, I do like Mudkip. Stormlist. Wow. So, first of all, I don't know what Mudkip is. Let's look at these now. Guys, thanks for sending me your photos. I love it. I always love to end the stream with pet pictures. It's Storm Lizard 15. Wow. Guys, check out Storm Lizard 15. I mean, he's chilling right there. He looks like he's warm and happy. I love Storm Lizard. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh, we got Carly sending this picture of full moon and ice fog. Oh gosh. I hate that this time of year we're talking about ice fog. I don't like the cold. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. It does not. That looks pretty cold there, Carly. UK weather forecast. Carly is where the snow is going to hit. Wow. Carly, how much snow are you guys getting? Oh yeah. Whoops. Yeah, this is moved to tomorrow. Yeah, Jordan's gonna be on tomorrow. So guys, we're gonna do this once again tomorrow. Probably similar time. I'll talk with Jordan and see what time he can do. But we'll look at these models there. So thank you for sending your pet pictures in. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to stream for about an hour, show you what we had cooking for Sarah. That's all I got for you guys today. Those are the latest models. Those are the latest thinking on Sarah. I think if I were to leave you with something, Caitlin. All right, Caitlin, I'll go ahead and send it. But I'll just go ahead and pull up the latest satellite. And if I were in Florida, which I actually am, so I'm kind of going to be heeding my advice here. I would keep watching. I wouldn't be stressing yet. I think I feel better than I did yesterday for the west coast of Florida. But Sarah's got a long way to go, right? It's not going to emerge into the Gulf of Mexico until Monday. And when it does, it really depends on the shape that it was in and how quickly it's going to move to the northeast, right? If it takes a little bit slower, if it takes its time, then it might have some more time to get its act together and strengthen into a hurricane hitting Florida. At this particular moment, my gut and everything I'm seeing says that Florida is not going to receive a hurricane. Probably a tropical storm or some sort of messy system. That could change. So if you're in Florida, do not stop paying attention. Right? I would keep one ear to the ground, keep looking at me on Twitter, keep following me here, and keep following me on YouTube, because I'm going to tell you guys if it does change. But for now, Florida's looking pretty good. Unfortunately, Honduras, Belize, Yucatan are going to get hit pretty hard with a lot of rain. We never want to see a hurricane or a tropical system hit anyone. So that is unfortunate for them. Florida's looking a little bit better. I'll let you know if it doesn't. So that would be what I would recommend if you do live in Florida. It's not time to take any action, but just keep one ear to the ground. And Caitlin sent in something. Let's see. Oh, look at Harley, guys. Check out Harley. Oh my goodness. Look at Harley. Wow. It's one cute dog. That's for sure. That is one cute dog. It's one cute doggo. It's incredible. Oh gosh, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to keep you updated. Thank you for sending your photos in. Thank you to Caitlin and everyone else that sent in a photo. I know we got a Storm Lizard 15 checking in. So thank you guys for all of that information. And I am going to be looking forward to see you guys on the next one. Guys, go have a wonderful Thursday night. That's what I want you to do right now. I want you to go have an amazing Thursday night with your friends, family. If you are going to be joining us later for the podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern, see you there. We're going to have a great show. Make sure if it is your first time here on the channel, like and subscribe to the channel. We are on YouTube. We are the Stormfront Freaks. I am Stormcat5, and we are the Stormfront Freaks over on YouTube. So make sure to go check us out. Like the video that you're watching right now. Subscribe to the channel. That way, every time we go live, you're the first to know. I also do forecasts over here as well. So I've got shorts that I put out that kind of usually those are like my daily updates on hurricanes. I haven't put one out today because I've been doing this video. I also have weather forecast discussions where I take a look at, yesterday we streamed, we looked at what was going on with Sarah. Today we did the same thing. So you can always watch the replay of that as well. Make sure to check us out over on YouTube. Got a lot of great content in there as well, including our podcast, replays of our recent podcast episodes, as well as old podcast episodes that we have. And we've got our Chase Week if you guys ever want to relive that glorious week that we had with Vince Welty and other storm chasers that we were rolling with. So I love every single one of you guys. You are all beautiful people. And hopefully I will see you here tonight. And then I will also be live tomorrow, time TBD. I will let you know on Twitter as well as YouTube. Look for me tomorrow. We're going to have Jordan Hall on to look at the latest models and check out what the latest trends are on Sara. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening. Go have a drink with some friends, family. Enjoy the weather if you've got good weather. If you don't have good weather, I'm sorry. I'll try to send your way because, I do control the weather. I don't know if you guys know that. Apparently on Twitter, I do control the weather according to everyone that's tweeting on some of my tweets. But I'll try to send some good weather your way. All right, guys. This is Stormcat 5. Enjoy the night. I will see you on the next one. Peace. Peace out, everyone.